Ahead and start the recording. So welcome to Tejano Virtual Events. Today we have a great presentation for you. We have Mr. Lee Vasquez. He's from the Diversity and Inclusion Program. He's here and he's going to be sharing with you today all about the great and wonderful programs that they provide for us here at EPCC. Also to remind you, you will have the opportunity to earn Tejano passport points for attending this workshop. I'll be putting a little code in the chat box for you to use to be able to get that. And I will also be providing more information after his presentation. So please get comfortable, mute your mics. And if you have any questions, place them in the chat box down in the bottom right. All you have to do is click on the purple button and then click on the chat box and go ahead and send us your question. And then he will be able to answer whatever questions you have. So whenever you're ready, Mr. Vasquez, you can go ahead and begin.
All right, awesome. Can you all hear me on there?
Yes, perfect.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for being here with us on this Friday. So a little bit about diversity inclusion programs. We are under the direction of Dr. Andrew Peña. He's the Executive Director for Human Resources. Also on here, we have Luz de los Reyes, Administrative Associate from Diversity, and myself, Lee Vasquez, the Coordinator for Diversity Inclusion Programs. Usually, a little bit about our program. I want to start with the mission for Diversity and Inclusion Programs, DNI, as we often refer to it, is to recognize, cultivate, preserve, and respect our differences and foster professional growth. Doing so promotes employee and student success. The slogan that you often hear with DNI's program is the spirit of diversity, which kind of goes with our logo that we have. So if you ever seen that spirit of diversity logo, that means that it is our office through here through EPCC. So a little bit about diversity. When we think about diversity, we usually think to the left, I'm showing kind of like this circle that we usually look at different things when we think of diversity. And we usually think of like holidays or like the ethnicities, races, and everything. But it goes beyond that. What we try to do is that we try to also look at, for example, like age. That's another thing that we sometimes don't consider. People are different ages, age groups, and stuff like that. And that makes us diverse, our experience. Um, Other things is like work experience, appearance, the religion that we have, um, our family, where we come from. So that's kind of like the basis of like diversity and stuff. Um, and on here, we have like the second wheel that, for diversity inclusion programs, some of the things that we kind of try to cover within that, we have, and I'm going to talk a little bit about like the different things that we offer. We do have like a diversity newsletter that we try to kind of include. We invite anybody that's on the audience with us that if you wanted to write something for our newsletter, we ask you to provide that. Other things we have is a safe zone for the LGBT community. We have training that we do throughout the year. And right now it's getting a little bit a revamp in a way. We're starting to train new people because it all came about that uh, a while back that some students were coming up and they were asking questions about like for LGBT, where can they go get more information and everything. So uh, we have like what we call a diversity council, and right now I'll show you the slide on that. Uh, it came about that, like what do we do? So the whole thing came through that, and we started to do trainings. So we were working on those. So a little bit about like diversity and stuff. This is what we kind of like look at. Let me see. Our next slide is going to be different things that we also kind of consider when we're thinking about like diversity inclusion. We've all heard the words equality, diversity, equity, acceptance, and belonging. With my audience members here, I know we have a small group. Um, I want to open it up to you. What do these words mean to you? Do you have an idea of what it means? Hopefully, we can get some participation on here. So feel free to like open up your mic or raise your hand, and then you could speak on there. Yes, Allison, you say yes. It means being fair to everyone. Yes, that's true. Tony, I see you have your mic.
Yeah, I think it just means being part of the bigger picture.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and that's one thing that I always do. One of the biggest things that we have is that we have a lot of committees in our group that we meet with people. We try to like open it up to students, faculty, staff, even the community. And one of the biggest things that I always tell everybody is it's about belonging. You know, everybody wants to share their story. Everybody wants to see themselves out there. I do have some questions here and things to think about. Later on, if people are viewing this, if you're a professor or even in any place that you are, you need to think about a little bit about like, okay, what is the environment that I'm having here in my classroom, here at the library, here at the tutoring center? What are the environmental cues physically present in my classroom, syllabus, lecture slides, and exams to kind of think about it to create diversity? Can somebody share some of the things that they might have in their office or something that they say that they're happy to say, oh, I'm showing diversity in my area? Or have you seen it in your classrooms? Oh, you guys are a little quiet, so
Well, at the libraries, we tried to bring in a diverse type of books to make sure that everyone has something, to learn about all of the different topics that are out there. So we tried to make a very diverse collection. We also have a lot of great displays to highlight everything that the diversity programs also share.
oh yeah, yeah, and that's a great thing that we have that great partnership with our libraries. That when it comes time for like Hispanic Heritage, Black History Month, you all share your displays, which you bring out those books, which I think is very important. Especially right now that a lot of places they are banning books, and that's a thing that we need to give that opportunity for people to see these materials out there. Um, Also, to kind of think about, let me see, somebody wrote in my classroom, professors teach about different cultures. Yeah, we talk about like the different cultures out there, different perspectives, which is very important. One of the biggest things that I feel that EPCC has been doing really good is that when it comes time for like placing those ads or anything that they have images here at EPCC is that they try to do different students, different races, different, like I said, ethnicities, different ages, and everything like that. So you do see it kind of like in the pictures that are out there. So I think that's very important. One of the things that I always try to tell also, like anybody teaching a class, that when it comes time to present, maybe include different types of stories. Like for math, for example, people will say, "Well, how can I show diversity in math?" Well, when you're doing word problems or giving an example, you could say instead of like Tom and Nancy went to the store and got so many apples or whatever, you could say Nancy and Jane went to the store and bought so many apples, kind of like a couple for the LGBT, representing the LGBT community. Kind of sharing those type of ideas that can kind of help. Also, another thing would be when you're writing your emails and everything, your signature, pronouns for the LGBT community. We usually say include your pronouns. I think that's very important. Other ways, I know somebody else wrote on the chat the college itself celebrates events related to different ethnicities. Yeah, that's really good. Um, I know that one thing that we do is that we fill out for diversity inclusion every year. We do the heat award. We fill out that application, and it's interesting to kind of answer those questions and see, take a hard look at what is EPCC doing, to kind of promote diversity inclusion. And it's amazing of the things that you all are doing here at EPCC. Many people think, oh yeah, diversity does, certain things, but a lot of like the organizations, they're having great discussions to bring in diversity, diverse speakers, opportunities for students to learn something new. So it is happening here at EPCC. One of the little things that I wanted to share with, like, after this slide, we're usually, since that we usually use PowerPoint, I go um, title by title, and it kind of shows a little thing. But since we're doing PDF, I'm showing the whole thing. Um, I wanted to say, like, as far as like equity and stuff like that, I ran across one of my friends on Facebook. They posted this great graphic that I think covers a lot of these words that I have on here, to kind of give you a better understanding of what they mean. So kind of think of it in using like the, shoes. Everybody wears shoes. So in terms of that, we're going to talk about all these words kind of like fitting with the shoes. So for equality, we have, think of it as everybody getting a pair of shoes. Everybody gets shoes. Diversity is everyone getting a different type of shoe. Equity is everyone getting a pair of shoes that fit. Not only do you get shoes that actually fit. And then acceptance is understanding we all wear different kinds of shoes. And then belonging is wearing the shoes you want without fear of judgment. And I love that one with the Crocs, because a lot of people have opinions about Crocs. But I really like this graphic because it kind of shows, all these words, and it puts into perspective, what those words mean. Do you have any questions or anything that you would like to say about like this graphic or anything on here? Anybody want to share?
I think this is great because sometimes it's hard to understand the different terms that you're using for equality, diversity. So I think this really helps to make it easier to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing that I really liked about this, and there have been other graphics also that kind of go with this, but I liked it because it was simple, and then it's something that we all wear, that we all use, and it puts it into perspective, and kind of like understanding, especially when it's equality, that everybody gets shoes, but you know equity, having something that fits, right? I love that. Um, Okay. So like I was talking a little bit about like the Heat Award. I am happy to say that, here at EPCC, um, every year we've been trying to go for this award, and it's 10 years consecutive years that we received the Heat Award. So we just received the 2022 for last year. We're going for 23, so number 11. Hopefully we will get it. But like I said, the Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award comes from it's a magazine that it's an insight into diversity, which is the oldest and largest diversity national publication out there. And what they do is that they, all throughout the United States, they put out that application. And colleges, what they do is that they fill them out. And it's an opportunity, like I said, for us to see what is it that we are providing to do diversity and inclusion uh, within our colleges. And like I mentioned, it's not only one department doing something, it's many departments here at EPCC. I am happy to say Office of Student Success does a great job of promoting diversity. They have the PASOS program that does a lot of stuff for EPCC. Our student life, our student life department is really good at helping students promote that also with all the events that they do. the Papagayo, doing a lot of the read-ins, providing different topics. So we all of that goes into the report, and I think that with all of us keep on doing stuff like that, bringing in different perspectives is important, and we should get this award also. As far as like hiring here at EPCC, they do it as fair as they can. Of course, with all the different categories that we have and everything, they do an excellent job. Purchasing also, there's a question about like, how do we get vendors into EPCC? It's an open process that they do, and they go beyond, beyond El Paso also to bring in other groups and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of what this application kind of brings. For diversity, like what our department does is that we have a lot of trainings and workshops available. Like I mentioned, the Safe Zone lecture training and lecture series is one thing that we do. For the Safe Zone lecture series, we felt, well, during the pandemic, we weren't able to do any of the trainings because we want to do the trainings in person. We feel that, people feel more comfortable when they're in person. You can actually see the person when you're doing the presentation and get a feel of like what is being asked, how they're asking, or what questions they're thinking of. So that's the thing, that during the pandemic, we were doing everything virtual. So it was a little hard to kind of do that. So we decided to do the lecture series. And in the lecture series, I'm actually happy to say that we brought a lot of good guest speakers to be part of the series. They gave a little bit of perspective of what it is to be part of the LGBT community. And we have those that will continue on. Another thing that we all do is that we have diversity. Why does it matter? That's a presentation that we do, and it kind of goes with what we're talking about, and kind of going through what I talked about. Like, okay, how do you see diversity in the classrooms and in the library and in your area? So we talk a little bit about that. New employee orientation. As people are hired into EPCC, we do a presentation for that. Course faculty development, we offer several workshops, and then we have other things that we offer. Cultural events, of course, we do also do the cultural events. Right now, we're getting ready, and we already have some stuff set up for Black History Month. And I'll talk a little bit about like what's coming up in a few minutes. But we're also getting ready for the following month, that is Women's History Month. And then usually sometimes we have the Men's Forum, Hispanic Heritage Month, Indigenous Peoples Month. So we do all those different celebrations on there. And like I mentioned before, we have a lot of committees where we get all these ideas from. One of the ones that we really like is the Diversity Council, which we meet twice a year. And in this committee, it's pretty much EPCC faculty, staff, students, and community members. I do want to spread the word that, for students, try to get involved as much as you can here at EPCC. This is one area that we need a little bit more students. So if you're a student here today or later on looking at this presentation, I want to encourage you. I'm going to give you some information where to locate us or how to contact us, because we want you to be part of this meeting. This is where I said that, the Safe Zone came about. A lot of the ideas that we do throughout the year, this council members it's the opportunity for them to give their feedback and say, you know what, I haven't seen this at APCC. This is what we should do. So we do that throughout the year, twice a year. That's what I said. Opportunity for the community members to view accomplishments also of things that we've done, make suggestions for future events, recommend guest speakers, Also make suggestions for improvement or changes relative to diversity, facilities, policies, etc. This is where your voice can be heard. So we want to encourage everybody to be part of this. Like I said, right now we are getting ready for Black History Month, which is this month. Our first event, and we want to invite everybody to go to that. It's going to be a read-in at the Rio Grande campus, which will happen Wednesday, February 8th from noon to 1. This is your opportunity to read or perform a piece from your favorite African American author. The top three, I guess, best readers will win a book, which is If Beale Street Could Talk. So we have that book that we purchased, and we're going to be giving those out as prizes. So I invite everybody to go to that. As I mentioned, it's going to be at the Rio Grande campus, and it's the read-in. Thank you to the Papagayo group, which they're helping us lead that event. We will have snacks. That's the thing, that with all these events, there will be snacks, but of course, upon availability, first come, first serve. So we'll have some snacks there for you all. Continuing Black History Month, also on February the 15th, we're going to have a discussion panel. And a lot of our members here at our Black History Council, what they did is that the committee members, they said, we're going to have a discussion panel. We're going to talk about this year's national theme, which is Black Resistance. What does that mean? What does Black Resistance mean throughout history? What happened? Is it still going on? They're going to further that discussion. So we have Shonique Torrance, which is going to be their moderator. And from there, we have like a student, we have a reverend and community member that are going to be joining us. That's going to happen at Valle Verde AST building on the foyer area from 11 to 1. So if you're at the Valle Verde campus, we invite you, or come from any other campus, come and visit us. It's going to be a great discussion panel. And then as the month goes on the 23rd and 24th, we are going to have some great jazz music for you all. A night of jazz featuring saxophonist Gil del Bosque and pianist Ruben Gutierrez. That's going to be the 23rd. And then on the 24th, it's going to be Black Resistance in music featuring Gil del Bosque and Billy Towns. That's going to be on the 24th at 11 at the Trans Mountain Cafe or Annex area. The good thing about this is that this came about with a great partnership with Dr. Flores, Jasmine Flores, from the music department. She wrote a grant and was able to get some money from that grant, and she wanted to partner up with us for diversity. So we said, yeah, why not? And her idea was to bring in a jazz musician. So this is where Mr. Del Bosque comes from. He's from Austin, Texas, I believe. And he's going to be coming, and he's going to be playing the saxophone. But of course, with the partnership, they're going to be doing the music. And the idea is that, especially for the Trans Mountain one, is that they're going to talk about, music, how did it create or help with the Black resistance. So they're going to have several musicians throughout history, Black artists that did great music throughout history, and they're going to talk a little bit about them. So it's not only hearing music, it's going to be educational. So we invite you to do that. Are there any questions or anything on our Black History Month events? All right. Okay, there's a question possibly. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello everyone. I came here for the tutoring. Did I miss it?
For tutoring?
Yes.
That's going to be at another link. I'll provide it for you.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
but before you go, make sure to go to our to our events, all right?
Oh yeah, I was listening. I was listening.
All right. That's great. All right, so they're gonna provide you with a link right now for tutoring, which is great. Are there any other questions or anything for our events? No? Tony, I know you're part of the committee. Would you like to say anything about our events? We also have stuff going on at the library, so um, Mr. Rodarte would be the best person to answer those.
Yeah, one thing about the libraries, for every event during the course of the year, we in the libraries try to support and promote whatever is being celebrated any given month. This month, obviously, is Black History Month. So we have usually, for the most part, we set up displays at all the different libraries across the district and in all 5 campuses. And what we like to do is obviously mention what's going on and again provide all this information about events coming up for the month. And we definitely like to feature not only the events, but we also feature our different books in our different collections that support what's going on. And it's not really, I mean, this year the national theme is resistance, but this is also a time to celebrate everything Black Americans and anything dealing with the history of Black Americans, African Americans. So anyway, there's a diversity of information that's being put out there at the different campus libraries, so that you can come and look and perhaps even borrow and take with you some of the materials and read about what it is these different groups are doing or have done and continue to do for our country. So anyway, this is what we're doing, and something that I need to mention, and I think maybe Lee has already mentioned, is all of these events are free to everyone, not necessarily just students, faculty, and staff, but they're open to the community. So if you want to bring someone, family related relation, somebody, friends to these events, by all means, bring them. The more people, the better. And it's for the most part, it's enjoyable and it's educational. You learn and you get a chance to talk to people and stuff that way. So please join us for all these events.
All right, thank you, Tony. Yes, all these events are free. As he mentioned, it's open to everybody. That's the wonderful thing about this is that we don't only do things here for EPCC for our students, faculty, staff, but also the community. The community is welcome. If you have anybody, your parents or anybody that has wants to learn a little bit more, these events are free. You could come and join us. Spread the word, and we invite everybody to come and share upon these discussions or the music and everything. Because learning, you always learn something new every day. You should learn something new every day, and we welcome everybody. Also, going with that, if you or you know of anybody that would like to create or have like a presentation, perform, possibly they're a performer or something, connect them to us, because that's the thing. We're always looking for speakers. We're always looking for people to participate, show us their art, their music, all that stuff. Um, Share with us that information. Maybe you, as a student or somebody here in the staff, that you have a talent or you have a topic that you want to talk about, connect with us on there. That's why I have be a speaker, bring your classes, serve or participate in a community, in a committee, because that's a whole thing that we don't only work with committees, we also work with individuals. It was great to have Dr. Flores, you know, reach out to us and say, you know what, I wrote this grant, I have this idea, um, I want to be part with you all. Maybe we could share and do that stuff. Yeah, of course, we want those partnerships. We want to do that. And like I said, representation matters. If you don't see something that is not presented out there, let us know, share who you are. We welcome that. So those are some other events that we have for Black History Month coming up. Of course, we wish to do a lot more, but sometimes with time, that's why we're asking for people to, you know, help out, be part of the committee. Um, as the spring semester continues, uh, keep in mind in March we have Women's History Month. We're already starting to meet with the committee. We're already having having speakers for that month, which is going to be, just keep this in mind, like every Wednesday in March, we are going to be doing virtual presentations. This year's theme for Women's History Month is women telling our stories, or telling their stories. Um, and I really think it's a great national theme, because you know it's important to tell our stories, and then women, we need to celebrate. This year we do have, and we're gonna be promoting a little bit more. We have something called the Diamond Awards, and for the longest time, um, we've had these Diamond Awards uh, to kind of like highlight the great work that, and appreciate what the women here at EPCC have done, and to recognize, them. So the Diamond Awards, we had to put a hold on that because of the pandemic. Because usually we have like a ceremony on there, we present it with the Diamond Award, and because of the pandemic, we weren't able to gather and do that. This year, we're gonna have a ceremony for that. We're bringing back the Diamond Awards at a smaller scale, of course. So be on the lookout for that. And students are welcome to join us for that, because we're gonna have a great speaker coming up. They're going to share their story. And, we welcome anybody that wants to join us for that event also. So that's Women's History Month. And like I said, every Wednesday during that month, we will have virtual presentations. One of them that we were looking into is self-defense. You know, Anybody can use self-defense. So we're excited to have that speaker talk a little bit about that, because I think it's an important thing. Other stuff that we'll cover is kind of like art, and even like baking and doing that stuff. So it'll be interesting. For the month of April, we have Autism Awareness Month. One of our diversity councils this year, that's what they said. We need to focus on autism, and we participated with the Centers with Students with Disabilities, with Project Hire, that group. And a lot of the students were saying, well, what are you doing for autism? We want to hear about, the topic of autism. What does a person go through? What are some things that, to get support, show us out there. So right now we're in meetings, and we're going to have some events that will cover autism during the month of April. If you want to participate or have any ideas of guest speakers or anything that you would want to see, like I said, let us know. Let us know, and we'll do that. And then, of course, in the month of June, it's Pride Month for the LGBT community. We will have different events for that too. We have partnered up in the past with the theater department here at APCC. We're looking to doing that again. So they will be doing a show that's LGBTQ related. So um, through the arts of that, there's probably going to be a call. So if you like acting or anything like that, be on the lookout for that. Take part in it. Um, if you want to learn a little bit more, um, join us at our events. This year, we have even talked about, they usually, El Paso has a parade, Sun City Pride Parade. Um, we might be joining that this year also. So if you want to participate in that, possibly help with like the float or even or, walking the parade and stuff, um, we welcome you. We welcome you to join us for that. Those are some of the things that we have on there. Like I said in the beginning of the presentation, that wheel, it goes beyond, there's a lot of things like I mentioned, age, we need to do some more presentations with like age, different groups. I know that we've often talked about like millennials, um, other generations, Generation X, and all that stuff. So we're looking into possibly doing presentations in that. Um, so let us know what you all are interested. Like kind of having you as a group right now. Are there any ideas that you all would, want us to consider, or you haven't seen here at EPCC that you would like to see? This is your opportunity to kind of let us know what you would like to see at EPCC. No? Yes. Safe space update. Okay. Everyone training. Training for what, Manny? Does it mean like training for safe zone or safe space refresher courses? Oh yeah. Yeah, and we are going to be doing that for safe space or safe zones. We are, like I mentioned, right now we are currently updating our presentation for that. We're updating a little bit. So our goal is to have that by, I said March, I believe by March we'll have that. So be on the lookout, because that safe zone, we don't only do it for like staff, we also do for students. So I think that would be great to start doing. Actually, today, right now, we are doing a safe zone training for the students with sign language. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's good. We have some updates. Yeah. Yeah, we will. We will have some updates on that. So be on the lookout, and that's great. Um, Also, one thing that I'm looking for that for the safe zone is that I've been trying to reach. So if any of you know anybody, or students that want to participate, I've been trying to reach I guess the Gay Straight Alliance here at EPCC, the club, because I want to connect with them. I want them to do like a presentation with us. So I would love to do that with students, so try PFLAG. Yeah, PFLAG has been a great partner. Also, Borderland Rainbow. So I'm gonna try to get that. If you know any students also that would like to participate, send them our way. Send them our way, because I think that's great to have. All right, let me see. Also, like I mentioned, getting involved. All right, getting involved. If you are interested in volunteering, we do have our a form that you can all fill out. Right now, I'll try to put it on here onto the chat. If not, send us an email and I'll give you my information right now to be involved. We look for volunteers at many of our events, like also at our committees. And I believe there's uh, a question here on the chat. For Women's History Month, sharing current events involving women in today's society, like to spread awareness on modern day issues. Yeah, I think that's very good to have. Um, what are some modern day issues that you feel would be interesting to talk about, Allison? If you could think of any here, if not, let us know. I think that would be great um, to have. All right, let me see. So our contact information, like I mentioned, is that it's on here. Our emails, our phone number. You do have Dr. Peña's information there. Luz de los Reyes, and myself. Feel free, like I said, feel free to give us a call, email us. Also, you could always visit us here at our office. We're a little lonely over here. We are located at the Administrative Services Building towards the back. So if you go into the building, you go down the hallway, you'll see EPCC TV, and then just a little further, you're gonna see diversity inclusion programs. The room number, I always keep on forgetting the room number. So Luz, can you help me with that? What's our room number here at diversity?
Highly 625.
625. A625. So that's one thing that I need to put in one of these slides. Yeah, if you want to visit us, we welcome you. Come and visit us here at our office, A625 at the Administrative Services Building. Uh, we welcome you to our office. Come and visit us. We could have a talk. We have snacks. Let us know what you would like to do. And then let me see. Well, even today, women still get unfair pay, and women safety is a big issue. Yeah, I believe those are great topics to talk about. Tejano passport points. Yes, make sure that you join in for the Tejano passport. Our events, and I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Gil, for putting that. For our events for Black History Month, they are all Tejano passports also. So get your points. Get your points for those events. We'll have the QR codes there at those events. So make sure that you join us and you get those Tejano passport points. Follow us on social media. We do have also social media, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure to follow us. This is where we put a lot of our events on there, and also our webpage. Thank you, Gail, for putting that too. On our webpage, we have our calendar of events, and we have all that information on there. So make sure that you join us. And there's our webpage also, our diversity webpage. So epcc.edu/services/diversity. That's our page. So the last thing that I have on my slide is pretty much comments or questions. So I'll open it up to you all. Let me know a little bit about who you are, or what you would like to see. We only have like a few minutes left, so I'll open it up to you all. Are there any questions? Or have any of you participated in any diversity events? All right, thank you, Manny. I know, this presentation was not enough, Lafala. Everything you do. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Lorly. Yes, that's one thing that I wanted to say. Um, I know this presentation and stuff. It's a lot of information on there. Um, like I said, we do have workshops and trainings where we do a little bit different, and we talk a little bit more about diversity. So be on the lookout for that. We're in the developing stage of that too. Um, but that's one thing that I want to say thank you all for joining us and participating, wanting to do more for EPCC. I think education is important by doing a lot of these events, and having these speakers talking about the books, showing pictures and representing. It's important. It's important. I know that a long time ago when I went from high school to college, it was eye opening to see, what college is. It's a lot more freedom, the perspectives that you learn. And as you get a little bit older, you become a little bit wiser. So we love doing that. We like sharing those stories, those ideas. I am a big person about presentation and sharing your stories, telling people who you are, because that's the thing. We all have something in common once we start talking, and we find out. I'm a first generation student, which means uh, my parents didn't really go to college or anything like that. I was the first in my family to go to college, receive a degree, and now I'm seeing all my nephews and nieces, you know, doing that. So there always takes to be the first. If you're first in your family, be proud of that, because you're doing something for yourself and for your family. Um, and representing who you are, where you came from is very important. So that's really, really good. So we have, I believe, like 5 more minutes, right?
Yes, does anybody have any more comments or questions for Mr. Vasquez? So thank you so much. I think we all learned a lot, and I appreciate everything that you all do for the college and for all of our students, and for coming and doing this presentation. We really appreciate your time. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming today as well. I hope you continue to join us for these events. Next week, we're going to have registration with the counselor, Miss Debbie Santana will be here. And I also want to share a slide for the Tejano passport points. If you've never done that before, there is actually a QR code that you could scan and get to the page that you need to go to, or you can visit with this little apps down here at the bottom. And what you can do is enter the code that I put in the chat box, and you will get points. And each time you get points, you get towards getting a medallion once you have enough points. So every time you go to an event, whether it's on Tejano Virtual Events or anything else we offer here at the college that gets these points, like all of the diversity programs he shared today, you can earn points to a medallion. So thank you again for coming, and we hope to see you next week at 1 o'clock for that registration workshop. So y'all take care and have a great weekend.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.